Hey guys, today I wanted to film another raw advice video for you, but I didn't feel like doing it in my filming room. I wanted to do it out on my couch where I could just relax and chat with you guys as if we're just hanging out and we're just being friends. My phone is almost completely dead. So I have to have it like plugged in and then be like looking at it over here. So I'm gonna read the questions kind of turned over here. Brianna Coulter asks, I have a question. It was sparked by the question about your belief in God versus your husband who doesn't believe. How do you guys get past that difference? I was raised Catholic, went to Catholic school, but I don't believe in God and I feel like it would be tough for me to date or marry someone who felt so different. Anyway, I think you're a lovely, beautiful person. I'm in awe of you for pretty much everything. Well, thank you so much for that. That's a really tough question. I take him to church with me, even though he doesn't like to go. I've been starting to go, even though a couple videos ago I said I hate church. And I'm not a huge church fan, but I still go. My sister kind of make me feel like, okay, come on, Kristi, let's go. So we just don't talk about it a lot. If he asks me a question and I said something about God, he never like makes fun of me or anything. So that really helps. If he were to be really condescending about it or be rude about it, it'd be harder. But honestly, I just keep strong in my faith. That helps me. I just stay strong in my beliefs, and even if he disagrees, well, then that's his thing. I just kind of let it be. Beautiful Mess says, hey Kristi, I love your beautiful face. My question is, how do you get/stay motivated? I have all these ideas and plans but can never seem to find the motivation to start. I am a type of person who's very lack of motivation in all aspects of everything. But I realize that the outcome of doing them far outweighs the lack of motivation. So like this morning, I wanted to film. I got up, I dawdled around the house all day until it is 5:52 p.m. and I'm finally filming. I did do something, but I really didn't do what I said I was gonna do. But for the most part, I just set a goal for the day and forced myself to do it. I'm actually fairly motivated when it comes to YouTube and stuff like that, so that's one good thing that I have. But it's just hard. You just have to literally force yourself to do it, and you'll realize that you feel so much better about yourself when you actually do it. It feels better than putting it off. Like when I clean my house versus the way this table looks in front of me right now, if you saw this table, you'd throw up because it's covered in plates and old food and wigs and crepe hair and teeth and latex, and it's just like, yeah. Anyway, that was a long-winded answer to say, just force yourself. Liz says, hey Kristi, how can I convince my boyfriend of 6.5 years to get married? I'm about ready to murder the bastard. Well, when I wanted to marry my husband, well, who's now my now husband, I just started dropping hints. I was like, wow, I really love solitaire diamond rings. I think that that would be a cool wedding venue. One day when I get married, eventually one day I was like, when you propose to me, this is the ring I want. I was a little pushy because I was like, you know what? We've been dating for 4 years. Can you fucking ask me? You've been dating 6.5 years. You have been patient. I was not patient at all. So yeah, you can either just be like, hey, are we ever gonna get married? And if he's like, yeah, I'd be like, okay, well, when? That would be me. I'm not the type to beat around the bush. I'm the type to just ask it straight. So I might, after 6.5 years, I would say you guys probably feel pretty comfortable in your relationship with each other. I might just ask him if that's in the cards or see what he's waiting for. Because what's you waiting for? Pri Neves, what's wrong with me? Asks, I love your videos. How do you save money? Do you have any advice on saving money? I am the worst money saver ever. We do have a savings, but it's really my husband. I'm the type that goes to Walgreens to get hairspray and spends $60 like I did tonight. I can save the shit out of money if it's dire circumstances and I need to, but if I really don't have to, I'm really bad at it. But the way that we generally do it is that we will get our paychecks, we'll figure out what our bills and stuff need to be, and then immediately take out the rest of the money that you can afford. So say your paycheck is $1,000 and your bills and all that stuff's gonna come to $500. Then take out $350 and put it in a savings account that you aren't gonna touch. If it's in a savings account that's not easily accessible, like if there's a card that you can swipe, not gonna be a good idea. But if it's in a savings account that's not very easily accessible, you're really not gonna, our savings account is in a bank that's irritatingly hard to deal with. And that's on purpose for us, because we'd have to like get in the car and go to the bank and purposefully take out money. It's not so easy as just putting in a savings account and transferring funds. We can't transfer funds from this account. So I might try that. I would just put it in an account and just leave it there. And every time you have a little extra money, set it aside. Another thing that's really helpful is if you go to the grocery store and it asks you for cash back, say yes and get 20 bucks each time you go spend somewhere, and it gives you the option to get cash back. Take that cash back, put it in the savings account, because you won't miss it, but it'll start growing that savings account much, much faster. So definitely try that. Vivian Grijalva, asks, what kind of editing program do you use to edit your videos? Also, what kind of camera do you use? I use Adobe Premiere Pro to edit my videos, which before this I was using Windows Movie Maker, and it worked fine, but I needed more out of my editing program, so I do the Creative Cloud. It's like $19 a month, and it is Adobe Premiere Pro. Basically, you're renting it, so it's actually really helpful. So if you guys are looking to get an editing program for inexpensive because you can't afford to just like drop a G on it, then do that, because it's been awesome. I don't even miss the money, like I said, and my editing game is going up because there's just so many more things I can do with it. And then my camera, I use the Canon Rebel T3i with just the kit length 18 to 55 millimeter. It's alright. I like the camera. I like a lot of stuff about it. I do wish the quality was a little more like 5D Mark II or whatever, or like the Canon 7D. Those qualities are like, damn, but you know, the quality's good. It's good enough for what I use it for. I'm friggin' doing videos about advice on shit that nobody cares about. Okay, this is a long one. Haley Williams says, my family and friends, even some coworkers, think I'm crazy or odd or lying when I say I don't really care to find the love of my life right now or dating. I've come to the conclusion that if I find a good guy that comes along, I will give it a chance. But I'm not going to waste my time on all the bad eggs that I think are hot or the good guys I think are boring to me. Harsh, maybe, but I know what I want. I don't obsess over the idea like a lot of girls do to find someone to spend my life with, and I have so many amazing fun things I could be completely happy doing by myself. Sometimes I feel now, looking back, that my exes held me back a lot, even if I was totally in love. I hate the idea of having to conform to a step-by-step way of life that people think they have to do. I just don't feel I would be happy that way. I love children. I actually work as a child care provider, and I am fantastic at it, but I don't feel like I need to rush into it if I ever do find someone to get married to and have babies. I'm only 21. I feel like my friends and family are pressuring me already to start all of that. Am I as mad as people are acting I am about my thoughts on this, in your opinion? I think you are freaking genius. I think that that is such a cool way to look at life, that you can do it and you don't need somebody else to do it with you, and that's my opinion. I feel the same way. Sometimes I do feel like I need my husband. Then again, we've been together for 10 years, so I almost don't really know what it's like life without him. But I think that your stance on that is so cool, that you don't feel like you need somebody. You're happy alone. You're almost happy you're alone. Do it, girl. Live your life. Don't feel like you need to rush into anything because people are pressuring you, because you're at that age where people are going to start pressuring you to get married and have babies. When I was 21, the main question people were asking me was, when are you having babies? And that's when I was trying to have a baby and I couldn't, and I was just like, fuck you all, I can't have one. If you don't want one and you don't want a husband and you don't want a boyfriend right now, good on you. One day, if you do, you'll find the one. Like you said, if the guy comes along that you love, well then you'll be happy and you'll be with him, and that's just, it is what it is. But you're not, if you're content in your life without him, I think that that is freaking amazing, and don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. Alrighty, Tito2130 says, first time really commenting and generally just opening up to the internet world, so here it goes. I'm excited that it's on my video, that's great. Apparently I'm a gray questioning asexual, but all that tells me is I'm physically I could care less about who I like, but romantically I tend to fall in love too easily. I believe there are many kinds of love and many ways to express it. I have so many varied interests and friends that I'm not really gendered towards either binary, which I think is cool, but really alienating sometimes. Anyway, best not to ramble, so here's my question. I am asexual, or whatever you would call it in the spectrum, but lately there's a list of people I have relationships with whom, 1, I care for deeply, 2, as more than friends, but 3, can't label, and it's driving me to pieces. I've recently admitted this to 4 people that I like in this way, 2 girls and 2 guys, and yet the girls I'm fine that they don't love me back the way I think I love them, or even remotely attracted to me, because why would anyone really? Hey, don't say that. Don't say that. But with the guys, it's causing me so much distress. Is this a sign for anything? I really can't wrap my head around anything physically with them, but I keep seeing what can be and keep wanting to kiss them or cuddle them or just be with them forever. TMI much? It hurts because one of them won't love me even if he could, and one of them can't because he's straight, and I'm still trying to figure out which of the two situations hurts more. It leads to my worsening condition, leading to bad habits for me to cope, feelings of being unloved or ever being loved, general desire for a loss of life, and really, I can't even hate on anyone but myself, because I know I don't deserve either of them with all this baggage I have and all that I am. I don't expect any advice from this, because really, what can you do or say to make it happen that will improve or fix any of these problems I've created for myself? Sorry to bother you like this. I guess this just felt like sharing with you, because though I have no online presence whatsoever on YouTube, I really wanted someone as honest and candid and as badass and glamorous as you to listen to what I have to say. Sorry again. Thanks so much for all that you do to inspire. Tito. Well, Tito, you don't have to feel bad by any stretch of the imagination that you're sitting there and talking to me. That's what this whole Raw Advice series is all about. And though I don't have the best advice for you, I can tell you that you should have a little more confidence, because you seem like a really well put together. Your thoughts are really well put together. It's really tough when you like somebody and you feel like they don't like you back. I would say expressing your feelings is a great thing, and you can read people probably pretty well, and you can tell if it seems like it's going to go somewhere or if it isn't. Your questions on your sexuality are tough, because I am heterosexual, so I mean, in some circumstances, I've had crushes on girls before. I wouldn't consider myself bisexual, because I can't see myself loving a woman, but I've had, like, I think girls are hot, so that's hard for me, because I can't see myself being in a relationship with women where at the same time I think that they're incredibly beautiful, and I've had huge crushes on girls before, back in the day, really, kind of before I was with Zach, but still. That's a really tough one. I don't really know what to tell you. Like you said, it's really hard for me to give you advice, because if that's how you feel, it's how you feel. I would never do anything drastic, as far as you should understand that you are worthy of loving, and that you are going to find somebody that has mutual feelings towards you, and it may not be either of these 4 people right now. If you feel more love towards the guys, I think that that's you're right on it. If you feel affection towards men and women, well, then that, you know, your sexuality right there. There's really no question. That's your sexuality. You like both men and women, and that's totally normal, I think. I would say be confident in who you are and your sexuality, and know that people will either like you or they won't. And I've definitely been in situations where I've felt enormous love towards somebody who doesn't feel that way towards me back. And it's a really, really shitty feeling, but you will move on from that feeling, because eventually there will be somebody who totally reciprocates those feelings, and that's going to be the winning combo for you. So I wish I had a better advice for you, but know that you are excellent and you're not unlovable. Don't say that kind of shit about yourself, because it's just not true. I used to feel the same way though, so it's really easy for me to say, just don't feel that way. But if you feel that way, you feel that way. And I did, and I felt like shit about myself, and then I met my now husband, because he made me finally feel like worthy. And I mean, I've had relationships before him, but don't ever do anything drastic though. Don't ever hurt yourself or think that you're not worthy, because I'm telling you right now that you are so worthy. Everybody will find the person that they love. You just haven't yet. And maybe you have. Maybe one of those people will reciprocate those feelings, but just make your feelings known. Don't be pushy. If they don't reciprocate, then I would, you know, you can grieve the loss of that lost relationship, because that's a really shitty feeling. I've been there. I've done that. I know how shitty that feels. But just know that there will be somebody out there, and you will fall in love with them, and it will be the love of your life. And don't give up. I don't know how old you are. You might have said, I don't remember if you said how old you are, but sometimes it takes till a little later in life where that confidence really builds up, and you finally feel like you know who you are, because it seems sort of like you're kind of questioning it at this point. Don't question it. There will be a time where you fully know who you are, and for me that's taking closer to I get to 30. Then I'm getting closer to finding out who I really am and what I really know I am and what I like and things I don't like, and I'm not afraid to talk about it. So as the sooner that you know who you are, the sooner you can feel more confident in finding that person that's perfectly right for you. And that's really the best I can say. I'm really sorry, but I love you. Please know that you're not alone. Taylor Buchanan says, "Hey Kristi, I'm a freshman in high school and I like this guy. We met this year and he seems to be awkward, but I haven't known him that long. He seems super interested and attracted to me because I see him staring and he flirts with me, but he hasn't made a move. And he supposedly found out I liked him and started acting weird. Then we got back from break and he went back to flirting with me and talking to me. I want to ask him for his number, but I'm scared to get rejected. People always tell me I'm beautiful, but I just don't see it. I'm scared to get rejected, but I feel I need to know. I just want to know if you think my chances are good of him saying yes and how I should ask him. Love your videos and personality, by the way. Been a subscriber for a while. You're definitely my favorite YouTuber." Thank you so much, Taylor. That's really nice of you. I wish I could be like, just get his number. Just get his number. You should just totally be confident and get his number. Did I ever ask one single boy in high school for his number? Fuck no. I never did any of that. I made the guys approach me, or I was like not having it. I was scared of rejection, like you say. If you really want to ask him for his number, go about it in a nonchalant way. You can either, it's really hard for me to give you a suggestion because I'm giving all this advice like this is shit I would have done when I was a freshman in high school, but I was just scared of everything and everybody. If you really want to ask him for his number though, ask him for his number. And if he doesn't want to give it to you, let him be. If he's gonna be like that, you know, you can tell if somebody's flirting with you, and you said that he flirts with you, so he probably likes you. Guys are pretty transparent that way. So nonchalantly ask him for his number, and if it doesn't seem like he's interested or doesn't want to give it, or if he seems excited, then great, both ways. If he doesn't want to give it to you, well, then you kind of know your answer. But if he does, then that's great. So really, what's the worst that could happen? Be confident and just ask him, and if he gives it to you, then you're golden, and if he doesn't, well, then you know where you stand. Rach B asks, "Kristi, first of all, I love your channel. Thank you for doing this raw advice series. You are so real and your advice has been helpful to me, and I'm pretty sure of a lot of other viewers. I know that you have touched on body positivity in this video, but I have a similar question. My husband and I have been together for a little over 3 years, married for about 1.5 years, and our relationship is great. However, I struggle with my weight along with other things. In the last 3 to 3.5 years, I've gained 70 to 80 pounds due to a whole host of things: health issues, medicines, massive stresses from school, becoming comfortable in my relationship and marriage, etc. I have really struggled with being okay with myself since gaining all of that weight. I have been overweight in the past, and the only reason I got to my lowest weight to begin with was because I starved myself to it. But by the grace of God, I was able to overcome my eating disorder and depression. Through my weight gain, my husband has always loved me and found me attractive, even though I have a hate for myself. Since January, I've lost 20 pounds, started to feel better about myself, until I see a picture of myself or catch a bad angle in a mirror. I struggle not to fall back into the habits of self-loathing. Do you have any advice? I've just been feeling like I can't be happy or comfortable with myself unless I'm the size I used to be, and I know this is not fair to my husband because it upsets him when he knows I'm feeling this way. Thank you." Wow, you just explained me to a T. I used to be super depressed about my weight. I've probably lost about 30 pounds since my heaviest, but when I was at that heaviest weight, I felt so disgusted with myself. If I saw a picture of myself, or if I saw myself in the mirror, or especially if I saw like a picture or video of myself where it caught me off guard and I didn't know the picture was being taken, and I was like standing there like this, that honestly would send me into like a pit of depression. I wouldn't eat for like a week. And that's so unhealthy. It's such a, not even unhealthy for your body, but unhealthy for your mind. To be constantly feeling like you're a piece of shit, like you're fat, like you're ugly, like nobody cares about you. That's such an unhealthy way to be. I was like that for so long, and the only thing that got me out of it was cutting sugar out of my diet. And I hate to be like, cut something out of your diet, but something about cutting out sugar changed the chemistry of my brain to where, for one, I lose weight effortlessly, and I can't even gain it if I try. But for two, I just don't feel heavy. I don't feel gross. I just gradually changed my diet to a healthier version of what I was doing. So before, I was eating pasta. So I'll explain what my diet was like before. I would wake up in the morning, go get an iced chai, 16-ounce iced chai, half vanilla, half spice, and I would get a sausage, egg, and cheese bagel. And then I would eat probably candy in the middle of that. For lunch, I would go get like a burger and a bunch of french fries, or I would get like a little personal pizza, or I would go make some noodles, or I would eat something carby. And then for dinner, we'd have like rice or spaghetti, or we would have like Mexican food. I was eating carbs, sugar, carbs, soda up the ass. So then I stopped. I switched. I started eating, like for breakfast, I have like 2 or 3 eggs and a little bit of cheese sprinkled over the top. And then for lunch, I have like chicken breast and green beans or asparagus or salad, like that kale salad from Costco. And then for dinner, I'll have like the same thing as I have for lunch. And in between there, if I want like a snack, I'll have like beef jerky, or I'll have just filling things, or like a spoonful of peanut butter, which sounds like really weird, but those things keep me sustained. Plus I drink a lot of frickin' Red Bull, holy shit. But those things keep me feeling better about myself. And granted, you're not asking me how to lose weight, you're asking me how to feel confident in your body, but I don't have an answer for you, because when I was at my heavier weight, I was really unconfident and I felt so bad about myself. So I had to drop some weight, at least eat lighter, because then you'll feel lighter and you'll feel better about yourself. But honestly, confidence-wise in my head, you have to let go of the mindset that anybody else is looking at you the way you see yourself. I have some friends that are heavy, and I've never looked at them that way. Ever. I've never ever looked at them and been like, fat ass. Never. Never. Because it doesn't fucking matter the weight on the scale or the size of the person or how big their pant size is to the quality of the character of the person. Nobody looks at me in my real life and goes, morbidly obese. Even though I'm in the obese category, I'm not in the morbidly obese category, but I am. My body weight versus height, I'm in the obese category. And that makes me feel like fucking shit about myself. But you know what? Nobody else at my work looks at me and goes, obese. They go, Kristi, makeup artist. She's nice to people. She helps animals. She's a good friend. They don't look at me and go, she's obese. She's a good friend. Those aren't things that they think about me, and there are nobody that thinks that shit about you. And if they do, they're a piece of fucking shit. So don't try to change your mindset to that. Think about how many times you've been at the water slides and you look over at a girl in her swimsuit and she's running around confidently, whether she's a size 4 or a size 24. If she's in her bathing suit and she's confident and she's happy and she's doing her own thing, how many times have you looked at her and been like, oh my God, she's so fat, she's ruining my fucking day? Never. You don't do that, because nobody does that, because why would you give a shit about the other person? If I see a girl that's a size 24 and she's confident in herself and I'm over here pulling my shirt down and wearing extra layers, I am like, how do I get that confidence? You know why Tess Holliday is so big in the media and on Instagram? Because she takes her body and she doesn't think about it. She doesn't talk about it all the time. She just is hot and she portrays that, and it comes off that way, and people are baffled by that, because most of the time heavier people are so brought down that we just feel like we're not even worthy of, nobody is looking at you like you're too fat. So get that mindset out of your head. I don't even feel that way about myself anymore, because it does no good. Just try to work on yourself, try to eat healthier, try to live as healthy as possible, and work on it. And that sort of thing makes you feel better about yourself anyway. And stop thinking about your weight. Stop waking up in the morning and being like, fat. Don't do that. I stopped doing it, and I am like, I literally never think about my freaking weight anymore, and it is like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. Kaylee Goheen asks, where do you live in Washington? And I'm not gonna answer where I live, like the town I live in, but I can tell you that I live in Northwest Washington. I live in the northern side of Washington. That's really all I can tell you. I'm not gonna tell you my city. Emily Mars says, hey Kristi, I'm in a tough decision in life. I'm going to school for dental hygiene, but I'm the kind of person who wants to have piercings, tattoos, and color my hair. I have my septum and tongue pierced now. I love makeup, but I feel the money won't be much compared to dental hygiene. No, it's not. So I have to decide whether to be able to express myself in one field or be in the other field where I can make more money but can't look a certain way and how I want. Thanks, and I love your videos. Well, that sucks, because work in a very professional setting and they don't give a shit what I look like because I'm a good employee and that's what matters. You already have some piercings. I might just express yourself on the weekends with makeup. If you want to be a dental hygienist, either find somewhere that will allow you to have fun colored hair and piercings and do the things that you want. There are progressive places out there, because I can tell you, I work at a veterinary hospital, and one of the places, or most of other vets around here would never allow their receptionist to look like this, but my vet does. So maybe find a place that would be okay with it. If not, if you really want to express yourself, if that's more important to you than making money, then go for it. Go for that. But I can tell you that makeup makes nothing unless you're in a huge city somewhere, but I make nothing. Silly Stokey 92 says, maybe I'm asking a really dumb question, but what was that makeup girl's YouTube channel? The question where she was worried her content was lacking. I'd love to check her out. Oh shit, that was L. Levi, I think was the name of her channel. I'm just going off of memory here. I'm sorry. I'll try and link her in the description of this video. Amanda Spezia asks, I have a question for your next video. I've been with my boyfriend for 2 years. He's 19 and I'm 20, gonna be 21 in November. And I know we are young, but talk of moving in together someday is definitely coming up in conversation. To backtrack a little, I was raised Mormon and now family isn't active, but I've been sleeping with my boyfriend and my mom does know. She keeps saying that I'm not allowed to move in with him until we're married, and that makes me so mad. How do I talk to her and tell her it's my life and I should be able to do what I want when I'm ready? I won't always live with her, you know? Why should she dictate my life? I really need your advice on how do I tell her my feelings without sounding like a bratty child. Well, shit, that's a good question. I would sit her down and speak to her in a very calm and sophisticated tone and tell her that I'm not an active Mormon now, and the other things I've done in my life are not Mormon-like, so I've already had sex with him, so living with him really doesn't change a whole lot because you're doing the stuff that living together would be anyway. What's the difference between living in a separate house and living in the same house when you're already sleeping together? That makes no difference to me. I would sit down with her and I would just tell her, look, I'm old enough and I'm going to live with him, and I hope you can get on board with it because eventually we will be married. I think living together first is important, but if you don't, well, definitely don't just take my word for it. But I think that you can never really know somebody until you've lived with them and seen all of their worst habits. So, yeah, I would just sit down with her and be gentle and understand that where she's coming from as a mother, and let her know that it's how you feel and it's what you want to do, and hopefully that she can support you in that. And that's what I would do. Emily Sharkey asks, Kristi, I love these videos. You have great advice. I was dating this guy for 3 weeks before he said, can we stop being a thing? I'm kind of not exactly feeling it anymore. We had been friends for almost a year, and I think he's a great guy, but I do not know what's going on or what to do. I've tried to ask him for an explanation or a reason as to why he lost interest, and he's just ignoring me. This has happened to me with a guy before, and I never got an explanation from him either, so I'm starting to think it's me. It's causing me to so much stress and anxiety and overall rain cloud covering my life. Should I try to get answers or leave him alone? I really do care about him and hope things would work out. Sorry for such a long question, and bless your soul, I've gotten through it. Okay, Emily, I would leave him alone. This was like a month ago, so you probably already come to your conclusion by now. I'm sorry, I've been not doing well with this raw advice. But I would leave him alone, and I would evaluate what was going on in the relationship. Sometimes it's hard. Maybe it is you, maybe it's him. Maybe both the guys are just like that. But it's hard to say. Are you texting him too often? Are you being too pushy? Are they just looking for a one-night stand? What are they looking for? If they're not giving you the answer, I would just leave them alone. If they're just ignoring you, I would. That's just me though. I'm the type to just leave them alone. If they're not responding to me, I would take the hint. It's really shitty though. What he said is not nice. Can we stop being a thing? I'm kind of not exactly feeling it anymore. Okay, well, fuck you. Tony Lynn Phillips says, first off, you're a huge inspiration to me, and I absolutely love your videos. They give me something to look forward to during my week, since my boyfriend and I work opposite shifts during the week and I need something to do with my life other than work. I love your Instagram posts. I'm glad you're doing this raw advice segment. Thank you. To my question, I also have PCOS, and I sound like, thank you. I hate that. I feel like a total dick right now. Sorry, I really do. Thank you very much. That's very sweet of you. And I also have PCOS, and I lost an ovary when I was 13. The thing is, well, my thing is with PCOS, you get to be a hairy-faced woman Well, I have a slight mustache and massive sideburns. I mainly wear my hair down to hide it. Since you also have PCOS, if you have the same problem, my damn sideburns get in my way of my contour. I want to know if there's anything you recommend. I'm terrified of waxing or shaving because I heard it grows back thicker and my mustachio does not need that. Recommendations, thoughts, prayers, concerns are greatly appreciated. Well, I can help you with that, Tony Lynn Phillips. I get one of those little, they're like an as seen on TV, they like shave the hair off. I shave my whole face. You bet your ass. I pluck my upper lip hair. Some people get it waxed. I shave all the way up to here and it has never grown back darker. It is blonde. It grows back blonde and thin and the same, and I've been doing it for years. You can bleach all the hair, but I'm telling you right now, I know what you mean by getting in the way of your contour. When all this hair is gone off my face, damn girl, my contour is on point, but when it's there, it just looks muddy and cakey. I shaved my entire, like, this part of my face. I even shaved like down here. I'm hairy as fuck, and you know, it works. So Elizabeth V says, what is the meaning of life or your life? What do you feel most passionate about? What's a happy or good thing that has happened to you today? Okay, what is the meaning of life? Fuck, that's a toughie. I don't know. The meaning of life is to be happy and live it to its fullest because you only have one. YOLO. What do you feel most passionate about? That's really tough. Passionate, becoming a makeup artist is my passion. Growing my online YouTube presence, which sounds really dumb to some people, but I feel like I can use my abilities as somebody who doesn't lie to you all as a good thing for this online thing. So that's my passion. I'm passionate about helping people and animals, always have been, and I really just want to succeed as a makeup artist. That's kind of weird. That's like a weird passion. Passionate about God. What's a happy or good thing that has happened to you today? Happy thing. I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning, started getting ready for work, and realized I didn't have to work, and I was pretty happy, and drank a Red Bull, did some special effects makeup. Jordan Dash says, I'll start off by saying thanks for doing these videos. You're hilarious and always make me laugh. My question is, was there a specific point in time that you remember starting to love Harry Potter? Also, do you have a favorite Harry Potter book and movie? I know that's probably hard to pick things. Specific point in time where I started loving Harry Potter, I was in 3rd grade, I believe, 3rd or 4th grade, and the second it came out, I was immediately in love. There was just something about them that grabbed me in a way, and I don't know what it was, and I don't know why, but I love it so much. And I'm 27 now, so that was a freaking long ass time ago. Favorite Harry Potter book is the last book. Book 7 is, I didn't put that book down. I literally was awake till 5 o'clock in the morning finishing that book one night, and I had to work the next day. I was like, I don't care. I am reading this freaking book to the end, and I could not stop. Book 7, all the way. Ashley Nicole Camacho asks, when did you start getting paid from YouTube? Did you have to have a certain amount of subscribers? No, I started getting paid from YouTube, immediately. I was a partner immediately. I guess that's just a thing now. You used to have to like reach a certain amount of people and then like apply, and I think there's just partnerships as soon as you start now. No, I didn't have to have a certain amount of subscribers. I feel like I just started. I came from a previous YouTube channel where I feel like it was a little more difficult to be a partner, so I don't know. I don't really remember, but I mean, I still get fucking nothing from YouTube, but still, yeah. Sarah Faniska says, where should I ask you raw advice questions? Do most people ask your Facebook messages? Some people ask your Facebook messages. The best place to ask is on this YouTube video. So like this video for next time. So that's kind of what I do, is I read the comments of the video and then I answer them in the next video. That's the best place to ask, but you can also send me private Facebook messages. Those are a little harder for me to find because lately especially, and I don't know why, I am getting a flood of messages on my RawBeautyKristi Facebook. I mean, every day I feel like I get like 10 messages, which to me feels like a lot because I was getting none. So probably this is the best place. Elliot and Mommy says, my question is, things are getting tough and all I've been is a big ball of stress. I have to move to New York City from Seattle so my boyfriend can go to school and we can get our life moving forward. We'd be moving in with his family, and the issue is being so far away from my family. How can I cope with being so far away and keeping my relationship together? Sorry, my question is so long. It's just a big step in my life. Oh, that's so hard. Skype is going to be your best freaking friend. Talking every single day. Never letting your life fly by and letting other people's lives fly by in a totally separate area. It's really important, in my opinion, to keep each other in the loop so you don't grow apart, because that's very easy to do, to grow apart from somebody. When you're not around them all the time or talking to them all the time, it's really easy to grow apart, and in my opinion. So just make sure that you guys talk often, and same with family. I mean, Skype and text and call, and make it a point to respond, and Snapchat and all those things. Those are really good ways to stay in contact with people, but I think Skype is the best way. Sheila Gomez Ruiz, sorry, says, I'm currently 20 years old and I'm at the stage of my life where nothing gets to me. I've learned to choose happiness no matter what situation I'm in. I recently lost someone I loved dearly, and since that day I realized there is greater pain in life than getting your heart broken by a dumb boy or letting small things affect me. My best friend, on the other hand, currently got out of a relationship and he's having a really hard time coping with it. I try my best to be supportive, but it really bothers me that he doesn't see that his ex-girlfriend was a total bitch. He constantly asks me for advice but doesn't do anything I tell him to. How do I make him understand that this breakup isn't the end of the world and that he deserves better? I'm sorry about my long rant. I'm so sorry, Sheila. He probably is already over it by now, because I waited like a freaking month to do this. You really can't. You can just be supportive, hug him, let him know that everything's okay and that you're there for him. One of my good friends recently got broken up with, and he struggled hard with this breakup. So we hung out with him all the time. We watched a lot of movies. We made a lot of jokes. We didn't talk about her, and eventually he's doing great. So it really, time heals all wounds. That is the truest statement that has ever been stated, and it's true. I would say just be there for him and let him know that you're there. Don't give him advice. A lot of people don't want advice. They just want somebody to listen to them. So I would just listen, be a shoulder to cry on and an ear to listen. And if he is asking you for advice, just let him know, you know, I don't really know what you should do, but you know, this is a shitty situation. I'm here for you. And just be there for him, because that's what we had to do for our friend. He was so distraught, so upset. And we just hung out with him all the time. He would come over and we would lay on the couch, we would watch movies, and we just wouldn't talk about it. And at first he was so depressed, and now he's great. So sometimes just being there for them is the best thing to do. Katulkatu Katie asks, pet question. We're getting ready to move to a new city 2,000 miles away. You've probably already freaking moved, Katie. God, it took so long. What is the best way to get our 5-year-old cat there? He could go with the moving van, but be there in about 3 days, but travel with people he doesn't know that well. Or he can stay with our family in the car, but we only on the road for a week or more. Honestly, I'm not crazy about fitting him in his litter box, etc., into our small vehicle with 2 kids for that length of time, but we'll consider if that's really the best option for him. Any idea if we can put him on a plane without someone flying with him? You can ship pets, but you have to have like a health certificate done, and you also have to have somebody there with them. So you have to like ship them and then send them and have somebody picking them up from the airport. And that'd probably be the least stressful way, because it's the least length of time, but it is still stressful. There are sedatives that you can get for your animals. One of them is called acepromazine, and really it's a tranquilizer, but it's really an anti-anxiety medication. Sometimes you can give that to them like an hour before the flight, and it can really help, not sedate necessarily, but just take that anxiety away. And sometimes it can do some sort of sedation. That's what we give to pets around the 4th of July. So ask your veterinarian, see if there is any way to get some sort of sedative. If you've already traveled with him, I'm really freaking sorry. I feel like a total asshole that I waited so much time to answer this. Yeah, I would say he'd probably be more comfortable in the car with you, somebody who can gently speak to him and tell him it's gonna be okay, buddy. And you might still want sedatives for that road trip. As long as he's in good health, they'll probably be fine. You'll probably need to get an exam by the vet and talk to them about you know, the different things that you're considering. But for a long travel like that, especially cats, I would say it'd probably be better for him to be on a medication for a couple of days than to be so severely stressed out for that long. Also, get some feel away spray and spray it on like a towel or blankie every 5 hours. Spray that on there, and that can really help calm them down too. It's just a synthetic pheromone that ain't cheap, but it can really help. So get some feel away spray and possibly some tranquilizers, and or ship him on the plane to where you're going to go and have somebody pick him up from the airport. That can really help, because it's a short trip versus like a week long. I love huskies says, I don't know if this is a stupid question, but are people supposed to friend you on Facebook? Usually people on YouTube have a Facebook page where you just like it. I don't want to be a creep and friend request your RawBeautyKristi Facebook page unless that's a thing. My Facebook page is a like page. I do have a RawBeautyKristi, a Kristi RawBeautyKristi, and a like page RawBeautyKristi. And when you search RawBeautyKristi, my friend page comes up. For some freaking reason, I've tried to fix it 1,000 times. The link should be in the description of this video where you can click it and just hit like, and I update that every single day. And if I ever need to post something to a lot of people, that's where I post it, or on Twitter. So follow me on any of those. But yeah, I would definitely like that page. I don't know if this is supposed to be anonymous because you messaged it through Facebook, so I'm not gonna say your name, but you know who you are. My girlfriend and I have been dating for about 1.5 years, and I just cannot stand her mom. I feel like she's way too conservative and hates on her daughter now that she's found out she's gay. She's always been kind of rude, but lately has been getting worse. For example, saying she isn't good enough for college, bashing how she dresses or what she listens to, pretty much controls her life and uses the "because I'm your mother" excuse. She doesn't let her kids be kind of who they are, but what she wants them to be. My girlfriend constantly says her entire family hates her. Whenever she tries to talk to them, they think she's being over dramatic or they get angry. I feel really bad for her and would talk to her mom for her, but she doesn't want me to. And frankly, I don't want to, because like I said earlier, I really can't stand her mom. Anyway, any advice on how to deal with the situation like this? Well, I would just ignore her and stop talking to her. That's me. I wouldn't ever allow somebody to treat me the way that she is treating her. If she talked to me like that, I literally wouldn't respond and I would just walk away. And if she wanted to pick a fight with me, I'd say, I don't like the way you fucking talk to me, so don't talk to me. I don't like the way you treat me. I'm a human being. I'm not just your kid. And just because you're my mother doesn't mean you can harass me in such ways. So leave me alone. I'm not gonna talk to you. That would be me. I've had arguments with my father before because him and I have butted heads in the past, and I'm honest like that with my dad, and I feel like people can be honest like that with their mom, because if you don't like the way somebody treats you, regardless of if they birthed you or not, they can't treat you like a piece of shit because you're not a piece of shit. So I would ignore her, and if she tries to start shit, say, hey, I'm not causing any problems with you. Why are you causing problems with me? I would not allow that in my life. My question is, I dated this guy 1 year ago. We broke up and ended communication. He recently started talking to me again and we hung out. I realized I still have feelings for him, so I told him we either needed to try again or I couldn't talk to him anymore. Every time I saw him or spoke to him, I was hurting myself. He has tried to communicate a few times since then. I'm not really over him, so my question is, how do you stop loving someone you can't be with? It's really hard. Time is how you heal that. Time is the only way to heal something like that, or falling in love with somebody else. But I would say it's really hard to fall out of love with somebody, and you may never, but just stay strong. And if you really don't want to be with them, or if it's not working out, then I would probably just try to move on. I would try to cut ties. If you really want to get them out of your mind, try and get them out of your life. I know that sounds really tough. That was kind of like a really rude thing to say, like, oh, get him out of your life. But that's probably what I would do. Or just let him know how you feel. That's really tough. I'm sorry. I don't really have a question and answer for you. Any advice on losing yourself in a relationship? I've been with my boyfriend for 3 years and I feel like I need him more than I enjoy his company at this point. I hate the way it feels, and my friends can't stand the fact that he's always my first priority, even before myself. I know that this is not how a healthy relationship is supposed to be, but I'm constant fear of losing him is keeping me from changing and only making things worse. It seems like all we do is fight because I'm always worried that something is wrong, even when he says there isn't, and it really frustrates him. I feel guilty for the fact that he thinks he can't make me happy, but it's not the case at all. Any ideas how I can gain my confidence back and stop being so insecure? Oh God, that's really tough. Gaining confidence is one of the hardest things ever, but I would say he wouldn't be with you if he didn't want to be, and the surefire way to push him away is by by telling him that something's wrong, or making him feel like something's going wrong when actually nothing is. There's nothing that frustrates people more than that, being unconfident in the fact that you're going to lose him, when really reality he's with you and he wouldn't be if he didn't want to be. So keep that in mind. Try and force yourself to go out with other people, and force yourself to be friends with people and leave him and go do things without him, even though it's out of your comfort zone. I would definitely do that because it's good for you and it's good for him, and it will show him that you are okay without him, and you need to force yourself to do it. Even though you don't want to, go. Choose your friends. You're fine with him. 3 years is a hell of a long time to be with somebody, and he wouldn't be with you if he didn't want to, like I said. So force yourself to go out and do those things. Go. Just get out of your house. Stop overthinking everything. I'm an overthinker, so I get you. You're overthinking it. You're thinking that he's going to leave you. He's not. If he was going to, he would already be gone. And you're probably frustrating him by constantly needing that reassurance that he's not going to leave you, and eventually that's going to get old. And I've been there. I've been in relationships where it's been like that, and as soon as you let that go, be yourself, have your friends, and know that he's part of your life, but he's not your entire life, things will be so much better. Like, I spend time with my friends separately from Zach. He's out with his friends right now, and we don't need each other, but we love having each other. So I think that's important. So I'm really sorry if that wasn't what you were looking for, but it's hard to do, but you can do it. You got this. You got it. And I think that's all the questions, guys. That's pretty much all I can see. Those are the questions. If I missed one, I'm really sorry. But like I said, it's hard for me to track them down because it was like 4 weeks ago that I did this raw advice video. If you guys have any questions for my next raw advice video, I will try to film it sooner than this every 4 weeks crap. That was not right. I'm really sorry about that. But if you have any questions for that, put it in the comments of this video or send me a message on Facebook if you want it to be private, and I will answer those questions for you in the next raw advice video. Love you all so much. I thank you guys so much for watching. If you would like to, and I would love it if you would, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I put out new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Also, if you would like to, please follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and now Snapchat. Those are all at RawBeautyKristi. Snapchat is really freaking fun. I'm like really enjoying the shit out of it. So follow me on there. I have long stories that I do of my chin and bend and snaps and craziness. So follow me there. I thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you at my next video. Bye.
Before I'm gonna start, I'm just cutting out a piece of lace so that I